What's going on, everyone? So, going live tonight, answering questions. Haven't done this in probably a week or so. So, we'll give everyone a second to jump in here. As you do, if you could give the video a like, that'd be awesome. Got the Boston Celtics right here. I'm not going to be a bandwagon fan. I've always been the biggest Celtics fan ever, but this year, my life is crazy. I haven't followed as much, so I don't want to say that I'm a diehard fan, although I have been my whole life, but this year's been a little bit weird. Still excited that they made it to the NBA championship. So there we go. Looks like some people going to start to come in here now. We'll give everyone a second. Just got back from practice, had a long practice, had a scrimmage actually tonight. So, hey, Pete, what's going on? What's up, CPD? Sad Lions fan. I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm a happy Patriots fan. Jameson, what's going on? Good evening to you. Fuzzy Fox, what's up? Caleb, what's going on? Hey, Robert, what's up? Little Rangers Lightning, nice. Mike, hello. Connor, what's going on? Juco or D1. Different, good fits for everybody. D1 isn't always the best fit, so it depends on you. Tight Man, what's going on? Roger, what's up? Jay the Beast. Man. Dino? The Royals win this year? I don't know. Celtics or Warriors? Unfortunately, I think probably the Warriors, but Royals are trash. All right, so as everyone starts to kind of come in here, Charlie, what's going on? Alar, is that how you say it? Thank you, I appreciate it. If everyone could give the video a like, that'd be awesome as everyone kind of gets into the live Q&A. I will, Pete. I'll do that for you. See how many likes we can get. We've got 60 people in so far. Let's see if we can get 60 likes. Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Mike Jones, what's up? Jack, hello. What's my motivation to do YouTube? Mostly it's fun, instructionally to help people out. Helps bring awareness to our program and to what we're doing. So helps in a lot of ways. Jeremy, what's going on? Thank you so much. Say SJP or Austin Prep for what? I went to St. John's Prep, so SJP. My gear bag. I have a bag. I don't know if there's so much. I mean, it's coaching gear. Yeah, I think every good size for a 6 or 7-year-old for a glove. It really depends. Like everyone's hands are such different size. Like my son has huge hands. He uses a little bit bigger glove. It really depends. I guess I'd rather have a glove that's maybe a little too small than too big. Because sometimes if it's too big, they just can't handle it. But I don't know if there's a perfect size. Why are the Chiefs so good? Well, I don't think they're going to be as good this year, but the Chiefs are usually pretty good because, Patrick Mahomes was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He still is. He was the best quarterback. Last year he didn't play as the best, but they also have a ton of speed, and I think Tyreek Hill basically makes it very difficult to defend a team when you have to put 2 guys on one guy every single play, sometimes 3 guys, and you still can't stop them. So I think losing Tyreek Hill is going to obviously really hurt the Chiefs. The best bat, I'm not sure. I don't I don't hit with bats anymore, so I can't really say. Yeah, more arm strength and velocity when throwing really depends on the player, but you can look at I'd always start with your mechanics first. How your body moves, how your arm moves. That's probably the most important thing. You can look at strength. You can look at, flexibility or mobility. There's a lot of things you can look at. Everyone's different, but I don't think everyone's taught to swing hard for the long ball these days. I think there's probably a little bit less. Back in the day, there was more talking about hitting the ball on the ground and moving runners and situational hitting, and there's a little bit less of that now. But I also think the pitching has gotten so amazingly good as well. I think it's also kind of been shown that like giving away outs, giving away an out just to move a runner over one base statistically was not a good strategy. If it was, everyone would kind of do it. So I also don't think that everyone's just taught to hit homers either. I think people blow that out of proportion. You know, like we teach our players to swing like slightly up through the hitting zone, and some people think that anyone that's taught to do that is being taught to hit home runs. That's not the case at all. I've never told anyone to try to hit a home run. I think you should swing with good intent and look to drive the ball, but there's a difference between just trying to hit home runs and trying to hit the ball hard with good intent and bat speed. How do you teach a young hitter 8 years old to stay back? We work a lot with. I actually just put a video up of me working with a softball player. The drills that I work with her are actually a lot of the drills I would do. There's a lot more, but I don't have videos on all our drills. We have an online course that I put like 40 or so drills in it, but I try to put as much free content as possible. But we do a lot of coil drills, working on learning how to load the back leg. We do what's called a crate drill or a hover drill to work on then keeping your back leg loaded as you stride forward. Some of it also has to do with like your upper body and being able to resist your forward move and not just falling forward. So there's a lot that goes into it, but does a 90-mile-per-hour fastball and up at 60 feet away look similar when the kid with the hardest arm threw against you in high school, little league? Not really sure. I don't. I can't remember Little League that well. I don't ever remember in Little League being like, I can't, like this guy's throwing so fast I can't hit him. It also depends on the hitter. Like if you put a normal human being in a box versus a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, it's going to look a million miles an hour. You know, like if a major league hitter sees 90 miles an hour, it can look like a grapefruit coming in like this big. So. What would I say to a sophomore in high school trying to start to play baseball? I would, you're starting pretty late. You're going to have to work really hard. So you're going to have to make up a lot of hours. So it's not impossible, but you're going to have to really be working. Is there an MLB game I'm in? Yeah, I'm in a bunch of the MLB games, probably in like the 09. I made my debut in 08, so I'm probably in the 09 games, 010, 11, or 11, 12, around there. Hi, John. Who's the funniest player I ever played with? At the major league level, probably Brian Giles. You're right. Lorenzo Cain did start playing baseball later in his life. I'm not sure exactly what his age was, but yeah, nothing is impossible. But that guy, clearly is a phenomenal athlete. And he probably worked like crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of good info on YouTube. There's a lot of bad info on YouTube too, but yeah, for sure, there's a lot of good info on there. So. A 4-year-old son, where can I get him a tee that's low enough? I'm not sure. I got my son. We bought him. It was like a little. It's not even like a real tee. I mean, it's a tee, but it was made by like who knows, Fisher Price or something. But I don't remember. I think we probably just got it at Target or something. Hey, thanks so much. High school team's doing well. So we have our first playoff game on Friday. So we're excited about that. All right, let's see if we can get everyone up. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes. If everyone could like the video, that'd be awesome. How fast do you throw? So I threw my first time off a mound in about 20 years, and I was like 78, 79. I'm guessing if I threw today, I could probably get into the 80s. That was kind of my first time throwing. I also was throwing off of a real slippery mound with horrible shoes on. So I would say probably in the low 80s with cleats on a mound. I'm going to kind of mess around with it over the next couple of months and see if I can work my way up. It's just so hard to find time to throw because I'm so busy with coaching and, I'm coaching high school. I'm running anti baseball. I've got, YouTube stuff and, lessons and online lessons. And, I get a million emails a day. So can I sell some of my game used bats? I don't know. I've got some game used bats. I don't know if I'm going to sell them. I don't think Maddie can hit my pitches. No, not yet. One day he will be able to. My thoughts on Trevor Bauer. I haven't really followed as far as like his ability, his YouTube channel. What do you mean? For a 7-year-old, my 7-year-old swings a 28-inch bat. Again, it kind of depends. Like he's pretty tall. It depends on how big he is and strong he is and all that. Should a player be open to switch a position he has never played? I think, yeah, I think you have to always be open to switching positions. You can still work hard at the position you want to play, but, thanks, Johnny. But, there's one of each position. So if you just say, like, I'm not switching from shortstop, well, what happens when someone's better than you at shortstop? Do you just never play again? So you got to be able to move positions, but doesn't mean you have to give up on shortstop. You can still work hard at it and practice it. But the more positions you play, the easier it is to get in the lineup. Your time as a Columbus Clipper, what did you think of their home ballpark? Always rated highly. Yeah, great park. Great place to play. I enjoyed my time in Columbus. I do think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. I do. What can I do for my son that has happy feet? Yeah, I would probably just work, focus on kind of feeling grounded and getting your whole foot in the ground. At the same time I say that, and then there's some major leaguers, like Nolan Arenado, and there's some major leaguers that have a little bit of happy feet in the box. So, but I know what you're saying. Sometimes I see players that kind of like want to inch their way back out of the box. Sometimes they're a little bit afraid. So if that's the case, then yeah, I would work on trying to feel grounded. And it's going to probably not happen by, yelling, keep your feet still when they're in the box, because that's probably not going to help. You're just going to have to get practice reps and get them used to doing it. Was I ever asked to switch positions? Yeah, like a million times. If you play long enough, you're going to get asked to switch positions. I mean, I was asked to switch positions when I was young too. So, some people are crazy, it's like, we'll have like an 11U team and everyone's like, I play shortstop. And I'm like, awesome. There's one shortstop position. So, unless we're all just going to stay in the same spot and just let them, get 100 hits today, I suggest we all move to different positions. So you got to be willing to play different positions. And you can figure them all out. As a professional, I played every position. I played first, second, short, third. I played outfield. I didn't pitch. I actually was a backup catcher for a little bit in AAA. So I played every single position. Using robot arms, I don't know. It's a good question. I'd have to see exact. I mean, it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be good. So if you show me what it will look like, then I'll tell you if I like it or not. My favorite MLB player right now. Man, I have tons of them. I don't really have a favorite. My favorite player of all time is Manny Ramirez, but my favorite player right now, I like so many players: Mike Trout and Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis Jr., Vladimir Guerrero Jr. How often did you train in high school for baseball? We probably practice 6 days a week. I played baseball in the spring and the summer, and in the fall I played football. In the winter I played hockey. What position is the least popular for kids? I mean, I think most kids seem to not want to play the outfield because they think it's boring, but I think it just depends on the level. Like when you're really young, a lot of kids don't head to the outfield, but the outfield becomes just as important. Lots of balls go to the outfield. So do I think the Yankees will trade for Soto? I would say probably not, but I'm sure they'd like to. All right, everyone, we're almost at 100 likes. If everyone could like the video, we'll get up to 100 tonight. Catcher's definitely a tough position, yeah. Are any of my high school players being looked at? Not currently. I mean, we've had players in our program drafted. We've had 4 officially drafted and others that could have been drafted but chose to not accept offers and return to school. So I didn't really hate playing in any MLB stadium. Um, yeah, it's hard to say that you hate to play in a major league stadium. Do I like Tim Anderson? I think Tim Anderson's an extremely good hitter. I don't follow the White Sox super closely, but yeah, he can hit. Yeah, it is very hard to get Juan Soto out. He's ridiculous. You're a high school pitcher, freshman, throwing 65, and you want to play college ball. It depends what level you want to play at, but I don't want to put like a hard number on it because sometimes players play college throwing all different speeds, but I would say that probably like 80 miles an hour should be a goal of yours. Um, but again, it depends. Like I've seen players play college baseball throwing high 70s. It's tough to get recruited throwing high 70s, even if you're getting outs, because a lot of colleges will think like, oh, is that going to work at our level? Because they're trying to project. So I would try to throw 80. Yeah, I mean, Jays have a lot of talent. I haven't followed the Jays again. I haven't followed anyone super closely because I've been so busy with baseball. Yeah, I did see Tommy Pham slap Jock Peterson, and I I don't know what it was about, like a group chat or about fantasy football or something. Facilities coming along, I believe. We're outside now, so we're not inside. So hopefully it's done soon. Favorite manager I played for is Buddy Black because that's who I played for the most. The Mets are talented, for sure. If they stay healthy. It's going well. It's been a good year for pretty much all of our teams. So I've enjoyed coaching them, and I think they're enjoying playing. What's a good baseball for a 7-year-old to hit? Again, I guess it kind of depends. Like I just have my son just hits regular baseballs, but every player's at a different level. So it just depends. They make so many different baseballs. With some players that are new, we use these like really soft balls. I think I bought them at Dick's or something like that. So it just depends what the player's comfortable with. Austin Bros, thank you so much for the super chat. First super chat of the night. Hey Matt, love your content. Thoughts on Scooble? I don't have any thoughts actually. Excuse me. I do have this cough though that I think I told everyone my whole family got COVID last month. Well, my son got it last month, and then he gave it to my wife, who gave it, or he gave it to my daughter, who gave it to my wife, who then gave it to me, and then and now I haven't. I mean, I've been fine now for over 2 weeks, but I still get this random cough. Barry Bonds, I think he's one of the best players of all time, and I would put him in the Hall of Fame. Yep. Did you hit the weight room seriously in high school and in college? Yeah, I started lifting heavy my junior year of high school, and in college it was, I would say, an obsession. I mean, I lifted probably 4 times a week from my junior year of high school until I stopped playing. I would say I'd lifted 4 times a week, and I don't know. I don't think I ever missed a lift. So over a long time, I'm talking probably 3, 5, 13 years. 13 years, I'd say. I didn't miss a lift. By missing a lift, I mean like I plan everything out and I say, okay, this is what I'm lifting this week, and I would not miss the lift. So there's no way that I would wake up and be like, I'm supposed to lift today, but my girlfriend wants to see me, or I have to go to the mall or something like that. Like, there's no way I would ever miss a lift. Would I have done PDs if it would guarantee a guaranteed long MLB career? No, I mean, no, I never did PDs when I was playing, and I probably had a pretty good idea that they would help my career, but I never did them. So when I'm hitting, should I feel like I'm punching the ball? I mean, everyone has different feels. I mean, sometimes people feel like they're, palm up through the ball, like this kind of punching action. I mean, some people feel that, some people don't. So it really depends. I'm glad you're recovering, man. You should move your program south. You don't have to wear a hoodie in June down here. Yeah, it was chilly today. It was actually like 100 degrees out a couple days ago, and then today it was chilly and cold and rainy. So I actually don't like. I like it being hot, but I wouldn't want to live in the summertime down south and have it be 95 degrees every day. How did you schedule your lifts around vacations and such? I didn't go on vacation. I never went on I mean, I never went on vacation. I'm trying to think vacations. I just didn't go on vacations. I went on a honeymoon. Honeymoon's probably the only time that I went to Italy. That was probably the only time that I wasn't lifting. But there are certain times during the year, like where, again, I didn't miss any scheduled lifts, but I could work it into my schedule where, like, certain times where I'd say, okay, I'm taking these 4 days off based on my lifting schedule. How do you break in your glove? I just play a lot of catch with it. My favorite car is not a Jaguar. No, I actually just bought a Tesla a couple months ago, and I love it. Spaghetti and meatball? Are you more comfortable with that analogy? Go together like lamb and tuna fish. Anthony Gonzalez, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Son locks his knee out when batting. Any tips to get him and his toes and behind the knees? So he locks his knees out? Really? Yeah, that's interesting. I would work on one, maybe trying to stay in better posture. So keeping my chest over the plate a little bit more might help you be more athletic. Sometimes players get really upright and tall and vertical with their spine, and then they get like, a little rigid. And, so I would work on getting, we call it getting our butts back behind our heels. Like your hips are going to kind of hinge back a little, butt behind your heels, chest over. It should put you in a more athletic position. You can break it down to like 2 parts, even though, I don't really teach the swing in parts, but you can with young players, and maybe get them to, load and stride and get in a good athletic position and land and have flexion in both knees, and then hit. I'd probably break it down like that with them. How hard was it to hit Chapman? We did face Chapman. I was on the bench and I didn't hit. I just watched. It was fun. I prefer turf fields personally. Probably because I'm a coach, it just makes life easier. You don't have to rake and water and cut the grass and tarp and all that stuff. It's just easier on turf fields. Trying to teach your son who's 5 how to hit. Any good tips to help him get going? Yeah, I have a 7-year-old. The only tips I really told my son growing up was swing fast and hit the ball hard, and he seemed to enjoy doing that. And then just go from there. But I think having good intent, not being afraid to fail, not being afraid to swing and miss, not hitting is hard, obviously, especially for young players. So I really made sure I never said like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you can't swing and miss, or, oh, when he messes up, if he swings and misses, I don't say anything. I just let him hit another one. One thing we did was I tried to make him successful a lot when he was younger. So like I have videos up. If you went to like the beginning of my Instagram, you'll see it. But when he was really little, like, he started hitting when he could learn how to walk. I started off by I would blow a balloon up, and I have some good videos of this online. I'd blow a balloon up and I'd hold the balloon, and and he'd have like a foam bat or whatever, and I just let him swing and hit the balloon. So basically, it's like T, but it's huge, and he would just swing fast and hit it. And you go from a big balloon, and then we'd go to like use like a little like bat, like a Fisher Price basketball thing, and use the basketball, and then you slowly get down to smaller and smaller objects, but you want to make it. If you start with too hard of a drill, right, like a little ball or a little bat, then they start to try to do this just to make contact. But if you start with a big, huge balloon, now they can just take a hack and swing fast and still hit it and go, yay, that was awesome. And then they get all excited, and then they think baseball's fun. And then you kind of slowly make it more difficult. But, that was my philosophy. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's just kind of what I do with my son. All right. A lot of questions here that I missed there. I have not bought a baseball card in a while. I'm still holding a lot of the cards I have, but I haven't bought a new one in a while. How can Josh Hader maintain control with such a twisted delivery? Yeah, every pitcher's unique. Some players will like really counter rotate a lot like that. Some players won't. He clearly has the ability to do it, and not everyone can probably do that. But again, that's kind of, I guess, where a little bit of style comes into play. Tips to get better at base running. Yeah, the best way to get better at base running is to base run, which sounds stupid. But you just gotta, what we do, and I was actually talking to one of our assistant coaches about this yesterday. We do a lot of live situations where we have, during BP, we play the last one live, and we have a live defense, we have live base runners, and, getting reads and, getting reads in batting practice and getting on the bases in batting practice. That's how you get better at base running. You have to get reads. Now you can get better by, just saying, okay, we're going to run the first, and then run the first and work on the technique. Okay, we're going to round first, go to second. And that's all fine and dandy and good, and you got to do that, right? But then you've got to also add in like the game elements and thinking the game and the situation and getting live reads off of the baseball. Because ultimately, as a base runner, you have to read the baseball. And if you just wait until the game to read the baseball, it's not enough reps. All right. How do we celebrate team wins? Well, we don't go get ice cream. Back in the day, we used to go get ice cream, but so we play our music. We play music really loud when we win the game, and we give high fives and tell everyone what they did well, and then we talk about what we need to do better, and that's how we celebrate them. Jump from high school to college ball. It's a big jump depending on the level you're going to. I mean, I went from really good high school ball in Massachusetts, which, we were typically one of the best teams in our state. And then I went to play at Wake Forest, which was, played still plays in the ACC, which is one of the best conferences in the country. So, I mean, that was a big jump. But I also played summer ball for really, really good teams. So that made it a lot easier. Like my summer ball team, I was talking to my son about this actually. I don't know why we ran. talking about it. My summer ball team had 3 first-round picks on my team, and we had another kid that was offered $1 million by the Red Sox who went in the 5th round or something like that. So like I had a really, 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 really good high school summer team. So that was a big help because, it makes it easier to adjust from high school to college when you're playing, with a bunch of first round picks and a bunch of guys that are going to like the SEC and the ACC. And but it's still an adjustment in the fall. You just gotta, You still got to adjust. But I was pretty confident, and you know, I always had a. Some players, everyone's mentality is different. Like I went into college ball. Some players go in like kind of like nervous freshmen. Um, I kind of went into college with like thought that I was going to go down. You know, a lot of people told me like, "Oh, don't go to Wake Forest. You're never going to play down there." Like lots of people told me that. Like, "Oh, the players from the north can't go down south," and so I was pretty, I don't know, I guess motivated to go down and just beat the crap out of everybody and show everyone that I was better than them, I guess. Um, so, I mean, that was my mentality. More girls in college or in the minors? I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess there's girls everywhere. So, um, where is little Minecraft dude sleeping? Did I play with any of the Rasmus brothers? Um, yeah, I did actually. I played with Corey and Colby. Um, I played with Corey against Colby, but Corey was one of the first round picks I was just mentioning. Best way to get into affiliated coaching. Honestly, a lot of coaches are getting into coaching now, into with pro ball teams by just putting their info out there, and whether it's on social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, and showing people that you have knowledge, and there's been a lot of people that have gotten jobs just through that. I mean, I've gotten a lot of, I got a lot of interviews and a lot of job offers because of stuff I put online. If you don't put stuff out there, it's hard for people to know, that you exist and that you may be able to help their organization. In your opinion, what's the hardest pitch to hit? I never liked hitting against splitters or cutters. Really good sliders, tough too. How would you go about handling the inside fastball? Well, a lot of handling the inside fastball has to do with your swing. If you have to cheat to get to the inside fastball, then it's going to expose you to a lot of other stuff, breaking stuff and slow stuff away. So you've got to be able to be inside the ball and short to the ball to get to the inside pitch. Again, if you have to cheat, it's going to be hard. If you have to say like, oh, I'm going to guess it's inside, so I'm going to move off the plate again, that's exposing you to other areas. So it really comes down to having a really short, tight, compact swing from the inside. My home run was off of Jason Hirsch. What is one thing you wish you knew while you were still in the majors to have a long career? Well, I wish I mean, I've learned way more after playing than I did during playing. Like, a lot of people would be like, oh, if you know so much about hitting, why couldn't you hit better when you played? I didn't know any of this about hitting, right? Like, you don't really, I mean, some people are really good at it, but I learned a lot about hitting when I became a coach, because then you have to coach other people, you have to teach them. So, as a player, I didn't really know a whole lot about hitting at all. I just kind of hit. So I wish I knew more overall about hitting. I couldn't really fix myself or help myself when I was struggling because I just didn't know a lot about hitting. What's a good tip to ace baseball tryouts? Just be prepared, work hard, and don't try to do anything more than you're capable of. A lot of people go to tryouts and they think like they're going to try extra hard and it's going to help them, and usually it hurts them. So I like chicken and I like beef. Hey, thanks, Drew. Hey, we got over 100 likes. Let's get a few more likes if you guys don't mind. My favorite baseball team was the Red Sox. I don't really follow them anymore. I just follow players now. Am I coaching any potential draft picks? Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some draft picks of guys that I'm coaching. We've had guys drafted over the years. Every year now, we usually have a player or two drafted. My favorite in the World Series, again, I haven't really followed lately, but my preseason pick was Yankees-Dodgers, so I guess we'll stay with that. Is baseball a dying sport? Nah, I'm not going to call it a dying sport. Well, I think the batter always has the pitcher always typically has the advantage over the batter because it's harder to hit, but um, who has the advantage? First time? Um, I guess it really depends. Like the pitcher can try to figure out your weaknesses and then exploit them, but they still have to make the pitch. So, what are some tips for playing catcher? Work on your receiving, number one, because that's what you'll do the most of. Um, I would say give a low target, try to work from low to high, try to catch everything back towards the strike zone. Winning in Massachusetts is like seeing at the blind school. I don't know what you mean by that, Mike Jones. Yeah, NC State, I know people are mad about that. Do you think you should hold runners on at first with 2 outs? Yeah, you have to hold them on with 2 outs, or else if you don't, they're going to steal. At what age did you realize that you had to work your butt off to become a professional baseball player? I have no idea. I mean, I always was a pretty hard worker, so I never realized I had to work hard. I just always kind of worked hard. Like, yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of trying to think. Like, I'm not really sure why I worked hard. I guess that's just kind of. I mean, I don't know if that's just kind of the way you're born, or if I was taught that, or I mean, I guess practicing with my dad and stuff. Like, he'd would want me to work hard, but I would work hard even if no one was watching too. So, I think about I'll tell you just like a really quick story on working hard. Like, ultimately, I think it just comes down to like what you want and just like your personality, I guess. Like, maybe like being competitive. Like when I would play, if I'm doing football sprints with the football team and we're running sprints, like I would try to win every sprint. Why do I have to win every sprint? I don't know. I just in my mind I have to win the sprint. So like at high school practice on Sunday doing conditioning, like I just try to win every sprint. I do the same thing in hockey. Like at practice, like random practice when you're doing sprints or whatever. Like I'm trying to be the fastest guy and win the sprint. So, some players will dog it and just do, what's required of them. Some do less than what's required of them, and some go 100% all the time. I just happen to go 100% all the time. Why did I do it? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I did it because people were watching, because, I have this weird memory of we would do like dry training for hockey when I was like 13, 12, 13, 11, somewhere in there. And like we would do wall sits and like pass like a 45-pound plate, and you'd have to like sit on the wall. Your legs would be like burning or whatever. And, you would see like when coach would look away, right? So there'd be guys on the wall, and then the coach would be watching. And then when he would look away, like some guys, you're on the wall, your legs are burning, they're burning so bad. And like some guy, when the coach looked away, some guys would like kind of like stand up, and then they would get back down when coach looked again and take a breather. I see that the same thing when I'm doing hands routines. Some guys' legs start to burn, and then when coach looks away, they stand up. And, right, so like, that's just how some people are. My mentality was always like, I remember always say, sitting on the wall, I'd be like, I'm not getting off the wall until my legs basically just, um, and until I pass out. So, I mean, I could have easily gotten off the wall. I mean, I don't know why, but I just was like, no, I'm not getting off the wall. Everyone else can fall down, but I'm staying on the damn wall. So I think a lot of that just comes down to maybe you being a psycho or me being a psycho, and then just trying to, just being a psycho, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have not thought about making a comeback, no. What are our team goals? Well, it depends what team we're talking about. I mean, every team, the goals are different. Um, like on our 11-year-old team, the goal is to teach the game. It's to get the players to enjoy playing baseball and want to continue to play baseball. The goal is to get players better. Um, the goal is to win. It's a lot of goals. Rotator cuff soreness. So, I think you have to make sure. This is a really broad answer, I guess. It probably depends on exactly where you're sore, but I think the goal is to have a really good warm up. Make sure that you warm up the throw. Don't throw to warm up. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Making sure that you're, that you're also doing your arm care after you throw, so post throwing stuff. So those are all important. Your throwing routine and what you're doing in your throwing routine is important as well. So there's a lot that goes into it. Little league versus travel ball. I mean, you can do both. I'm not involved in little league, so I don't know, but I have a travel ball team. I mean, I guess you call it travel ball. So, who's better at the Celtics game behind you? My son beats me on that. Yeah, I'm not that good at that. He's better than me. Are pitchers and hitters throwing and pitching at 100% effort? No. I'd say most pitchers aren't throwing at 100% effort. They're throwing at a high effort level, but not probably 100%. And hitters, I wouldn't say it's 100%, but again, it's pretty high intent. Like, you can't swing easy and hit the ball hard. I know some players will say, like, try easier, or I try easy. I do think that they're still trying hard, but usually, like, when you work your body in the right sequence, things just flow easier. They feel easier. Sometimes when you try to muscle up and you get out of sequence, like, you feel like you're swinging really hard, but you're not really swinging that hard. So, I've heard Jacob deGrom say that he feels when the ball's coming out best, it just feels easy. And, he's still trying probably hard, but I think just his body is just moving in the proper sequence. His arms unraveling the right way, and he's not muscling up, he's not tense, and he feels like a whip. How's the road to 90? I did one video last week and I haven't thrown again since, so I got to get back to throwing. How many swings is too many swings when taking BP? It just depends. I always take different amounts, but I think rounds of like 6 are a good amount of swings in a round. How many rounds you want to take just depends on how you feel. But how do you stop chopping when you're swinging? There's a lot that goes into it. I go to our hitting playlist. We talk a lot about how to create a good path and how to use your body properly and all that. All right, everyone, I'm going to answer a couple more questions. I'm going to watch a show. My wife and I are watching a new show. I think it's new on HBO. So I'm going to watch that. And I got a lot of emails and stuff to answer. I have one lesson tomorrow, and I practice, a lot of practice tomorrow. So why is the first baseman's glove so different? Well, they just allow the first baseman to have a bigger glove, and I guess it's because they have to pick balls out of the dirt and stuff. So. Has our travel team lost games because they weren't focused or playing with effort? Yeah, sure. I mean, it happens to everybody. We've won games because we've played with great focus and effort. We've lost games because we haven't. So you get a lot of ups and downs when you. Oh, every team does, but especially young kids. When you play, did you grip your bat tight or loose? I grip my bat not tight or loose, kind of in the middle. Tight enough that the bat's not going to go out of my hands, but not so tight that I'm doing this. But I've got a firm grip on the bat. Favorite thing about the majors, not baseball related. Well, everything about the majors, not baseball related, is great. The hotels are beautiful. The travel's nice. The cities are great. You get paid lots of money to play, so you can, do whatever you want. You can, go to a nice steakhouse every night if you want to. You can get room service every night if you want to. You can go out and do whatever you want. So, I have not seen the new Top Gun yet. No, I've seen the original Top Gun. What truly made me learn about Bat Path? Made me learn about it? I'm just trying to help hitters. Thank you, Jace. I appreciate that. All right, everyone. Could everyone give the video a like one more time? That'd be awesome if you could. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, getting the 11-year-old to kind of try to hold the upper body back and kind of resist as they stride forward. That'll just come with time, but just keep working at it. Hey, EDC Disc Golf, thank you so much for the super chat. My son is a 7-year-old playing in KBO. I don't know if you remember him. Many major league teams are looking into him, but he loves Korea. What should he do? Oh, man, I missed you. So he's 7, but the major leagues are looking into him. I'd get him an agent, maybe 2 or 3 agents. I demand at least $10 to $15 million signing bonus. Let's go 15 million. I'd also request a couple things for yourself. Maybe a personal chauffeur. I'd request free plane flight. I just screw the free plane flights. I would request a private jet for you so you can fly to his games and see him. And then he's 7, so he's probably in first grade. So having a private plane, maybe a helicopter actually also, will be able to get him to and from first grade. So those would be my tips to you for your 7-year-old going to the major leagues. Have I heard of Elite Baseball in Chicago? That Elite Baseball? We have a lot of really good players. It's hard to say who's the best. We don't have any train plays in New York. No, we're in Massachusetts. All right, everybody. So it has been fun tonight. I've been on here for almost an hour. I told Laura I was only going to do 30 minutes, but I did 50 minutes. So I'm going to go watch a show now. Pennsylvania, Elite Baseball in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure then. I don't know. Everybody's Elite Baseball. It's hard. All right, everyone. We'll do this again soon, but I do have to go. I have tons of work to do. Going to go watch a quick show, maybe have some ice cream, and go to bed. So I know I got a lot of questions about hitting questions. We have playlists on hitting and pitching and defense, so you guys can go to the playlist. You'll find probably a lot of the questions that you ask. I've got tons of videos on there. So that should help you out. That's all we have. Have a great night, everyone. And I will see you guys all at some point, probably next week. Take care.